Hi, I'm Susan O'D, also known as Mistress Briony of Chatham. These are my top 10 SCA period embroidery stitches. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn a little something. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to direct them through howtohistory.com. Detached buttonhole stitch is something that's mostly seen at the later end of the SCA period. It's very versatile, and the Elizabethans loved it. They used it for a lot of things. Detached buttonhole stitch starts with an outline. In this case, I've done an outline of chain stitch. You can also do a couching outline or a back stitch. It just has to be something very sturdy because you're going to be pulling on it a bit. All of the detached buttonhole stitches are stitched into this outline. And the detached buttonhole stitch actually stays on top of the base fabric the entire time. You're never actually going to poke your needle through the fabric. You can see it's just a regular buttonhole stitch. You catch the row of stitches above it and the thread where you pass back through. And as with any buttonhole stitch, you are going to catch the loop made by your stitch on the needle and pass the thread through it before snugging it up and going on to the next stitch. Because detached buttonhole stitch sits completely on top of the fabric, you can use it flat. You can also pad it by cutting a tiny hole in the back of the fabric after you're done and pushing the padding through. And also, if you use a couching stitch to do the outline, you can cut it entirely away from the base fabric. One of the things that was done in period was to, instead of using a thread for your base, but was to use a piece of very soft wire. And then you can cut it away and bend it and shape it. And that is the basis for stump work, which becomes very, very popular at the very tail end of SCA period. Detached buttonhole stitch is also one of the main stitches used in needle lace. See, we're just picking up the row of thread before, making sure we pass the thread through the stitch, and snugging it up. The hardest thing to learn with this stitch is tension. A lot of people will get their stitches too tight or too loose. It's just a question of doing it until you feel comfortable with it and until you've got a nice, smooth look. Make sure you don't twist that thread when you pull it back through. When we get to the end, we're going to go back into the chain stitch. Just to secure the end of the row. Pass the thread back, start the next row, and that is basically it. In period, the outline thread, the chain stitch, would have been the same color. I changed these colors just so that there would be some contrast and you could see what I was doing. But it would be all one color in period.